kung fu.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I got another action classic for you, 2006 Undisputed II. Now, Undisputed II, in my opinion, is one of the all-time great, in just my opinion, B action movies. Now, B action movies are usually straight to DVD, straight to rental. These are movies that don't usually even make it into, into cinema. And, B action movies have been going on for a long time. And, a lot of actors, in particular, like Steven Seagal, not Sylvester Stallone. Stallone did, has done big. Stallone has even done a couple B action movies. Stallone's done some B action movies. There's a lot of actors. Jackie's done some B action movies. Pretty much any action star that you can really think of has done some B action movies. And the genre itself used to be a lot bigger back in the day, and now it's like, it's a niche thing. But back in the early 2000s, there was still a pretty sizable thing in it. And two stars of this genre, in my personal opinion, two stars of the B movie action genre who have kind of been around it and have had so many B action franchises is Scott Adkins and Michael Jai White. And Michael Jai White has done more than that. See, Michael Jai White is such an interesting actor in the sense that you can look on Netflix or Amazon and you'll find like 3 or 4 movies, B action movies, that he's starring in. But you'll also find that he starred in a TV show, that he starred in a TV show, a network syndicated TV show. He's been in a couple movies, theatrical movies. I think he was in Black Dynamite. He's been in Black Dynamite. And Michael Jai White has such an interesting career in terms of the places that he has and hasn't been. And honestly, sometimes he's in so many movies where he's like the buff black guy. He's the buff handsome black guy who looks scary, that sometimes it's easy to forget. Michael Jai White is a action star. I mean, that dude is a massive man, and he knows all these different martial arts. He's a dangerous man in real life. He's a bad motherfucker. And Scott Adkins also, this was the big breakout role for Scott Adkins. I would argue Scott Adkins is sort of taken the mantle as the king of the B movies. He's really taken that mantle on. He has so many B movies that are that are on TV and straight to DVD, and all of them. He's got Accident Man. He's just got all these different B movies, and it's fun, but it's still kind of funny to think about it. But Scott Adkins, but this is probably his best role. He's done some shit. But this one, him playing the Russian, him playing Yuri Boyka, has to be iconic. Now, obviously, this is the sequel. This is a sequel to Undisputed, which I decided to review Undisputed II because the original Undisputed, which starred Vin Rhames and Wesley Snipes, was more of a drama that had action in it. At least in my personal opinion, because most of that movie is about these two men who both are boxers, because it's a boxing movie, who are both boxers, and their mindsets and how they got there and their approach to this and how they're viewing this fight and everything leading up to the fight. And that's most of the movie, is these two men in this fight and everything leading up to the fight. And there's not a lot of action in it. There's not a lot of over-the-topness in it. And also, it's so disconnected from the rest of the franchise. The Undisputed franchise has 4 movies in it. And the first movie is pretty much completely disconnected from the rest. So I decided to go with Undisputed 2 because I think that movie is the best movie in that franchise, and I think Undisputed 2 is the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It embodies what the franchise became, which is this simple, high-octane action, almost sports-like fight, sports-like UFC-esque fight movies. And the story follows George Chambers, and George Chambers is played by Michael Jai White, and George is a former world champion, He's classic, you know, fallen from grace, but still famous athlete who's still able to get gigs because of his past, but he's clearly fallen from grace. I mean, he's over in Russia promoting shit, so that tells you the kind of sponsorships he can get now. And he's kind of an asshole. He's kind of this, you know, disgruntled asshole. He kind of has this entitled vibe about him. But unfortunately for Chambers, he gets set up and sent to this gulag where, well, not a gulag, I guess, I don't know, I don't think Russian prisons are all called gulags, but he gets sent to this prison, this Russian prison, where he is forced to fight for his own freedom, and he has to beat Yuri Boyka to escape. And like, that's pretty much the basic setup of the whole movie. He's in here, he has to beat Boyka to get out, he has to beat Boyka in a match to get out. And the whole movie is really about Chambers. And from a story standpoint, the whole movie's about Chambers getting knocked down a peg. It's about him humbling himself, remembering why he got into fighting to begin with. Because I mean, that's the basic story, right? Is that Chambers once he made it to the top, he got arrogant, he got egotistical, he started taking shortcuts, he started doing this, he started doing that, and it all sort of led him to being, and in a way, it led him to being in this prison. And ironically, being in this prison, literally fighting for his freedom, allowed him to remember why he got into fighting to begin with, allowed him to remember that he isn't just a selfish, self-centered asshole, that there are more people to care about in the world. Basic story. And that's it. That's the one story you follow. Everybody else has like shallow stories. But the one thing about this movie, by far, that's the biggest standout, is Scott Adkins as Boyka. Because you don't get a lot of history on Boyka. But Boyka actually is within the short time you get with him, character stuff, you learn so much about him that he's obsessed with fighting, to the point where in his little area, he has all these totems to fighting, like ancient Egyptian and boxing and UFC. He has all this stuff in his fucking room dedicated to fighting. He's obsessed with fighting. But he has this weird honor to him, which makes Boyka a very interesting villain. Because while he is this obstacle, like, throughout, halfway, the first fight they have in the movie, Chambers gets poisoned, and Boyka is pissed about that. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? He kills a couple guys over it. And you're like, damn, dude, he is serious about this shit. But even more than Boyka's character, which is well done by Scott Adkins, is his fighting. When I was a kid, watching this movie, I thought the fighting that Boyka did in this movie in particular, and the sequels, was so awesome, because I had never seen, I've watched a lot of action movies in my life, a lot, and usually there are two types of action movies. It's either over the top, stylized and over the top, or it's brutal and realistic. And this movie sort of found this almost ludicrous, not just below ludicrous level of brutality, but also over the top acrobatics in the way he does things. I mean, some of the things he does are just badass. I don't even know what to tell you. A lot of Boyka shit is just so awesome. There's a reason Boyka was so badass in this movie. So Scott Adkins was so awesome in this role that they made 2 sequels that starred him. They didn't bring back Michael Jai White to do sequels. They could have brought Michael Jai White back to do sequels. Let's face it. Michael Jai White, like I said, he's a weird actor, because the man was also in The Dark Knight. He could be in The Dark Knight, and then the next goddamn thing you see him in is straight to DVD. It's wild, dude. Him and there's some actors like that in Hollywood who they just like I say, you can see them in a blockbuster movie. You go to theaters and be like, oh damn, there he is. And then next thing you know, you look on Netflix and it's like, he's got a new movie out. That movie looks like shit. He just does it. So, but it's not like Michael Jai White wouldn't have come back to be the star of the Undisputed franchise, but Boyka was so cool, so badass, that they had to bring him back, because his sequences, in particular, his fight sequences with Michael Jai White, are so awesome. The way he fights, the way he kicks, the way he comes at you, the velocity. I love the way that the fight sequences are shot, the sound design on them. It's so awesome. Like I say, it borders on ridiculousness, but it's like in this vein of badassery, because it's like, He's doing it in a way that you can believe it. And I just love the fight sequences in this movie. It has always been a fun treat. The Undisputed franchise, I love the Undisputed franchise. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of a guilty pleasure franchise to me. I love all three of those movies. I even like the first movie. And this is Scott Adkins' breakout role. This is the role that got him every B movie afterwards. And honestly, dude, I love Undisputed 2. I'd give Undisputed 2 8 out of 10. I love the movie. It's not even a great movie, but it's such a good cheesy B action movie, dude. I love it, dude. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the Comic Movie Show. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.